What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Wednesday, June 19th. We got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me. She is a co-host of the Bougie Sports Podcast. I'm a fellow podcaster, obviously, here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. I'm also a freelance sports director, or sports reporter, I should say. I'm also a casino host and proprietor of this podcast, where we bring individuals on to talk about their why, talk about what they do and why they do what they do. Like I said, her name is Lana. She is a podcaster. She is also a human resource director. So we're going to talk about her everyday job, but also talk about her why into sports and podcasting as well. We're going to talk some Cleveland Browns as well. She goes under the hashtag of Stefanski's girl. For those of you that don't know what Stefanski is, this Kevin Stefanski. He is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. So definitely going to talk to her and get to know her a little bit as well. So without any further ado, I introduce you, Lana. Good evening, Lana. How we doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. You look absolutely lovely, by the way. I just want to say that.
Thank you. Thanks.
You are very welcome. Thank you. And welcome to my podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder. How's your week been going so far?
Good. So far, so good.
I'm glad to hear that.
It feels like it should be Thursday, though.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. I know that's right. I want to reiterate to you why I wanted to bring you on before I start peppering you with all these questions, right? So,
Okay.
so I know that you do a podcast. If I'm not mistaken, it's called the Bougie? Is it Bougie Sports
It's Bougie, yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, got you. So I know you do a podcast. I know you are a huge Cleveland Browns fan. Anybody that follows you knows that you are dog pound. You are Cleveland Browns. That's what you are. But I know that there's a lot more to you than that. So I would love to get to know you outside of what you do as far as podcasting and sports. I also know you're a human resources director as well. I would love how you can incorporate that into your life as well. You know, me doing a little research and background on you, I found that out. I want to be able to just talk to you, get to know you, and learn about your why, of why you started it, your podcast, and sports. So, with that, my first question is it Lana? Is it Lana or
you had it right with Lana?
Lana, okay.
You're right.
So, thank you so much. So what is your why? What is your why of getting into sports? What is your why of getting into the podcasting world? Did you have any role models, any inspirations growing up? Talk about your background of growing up. Are you from Cleveland or are you just talk about that?
Yeah, I actually moved here in the mid 80s. So I wasn't born here, but essentially raised here, lived here. This actually all came about really late in life within the last couple of years, as far as the whole, in the last year or so with the whole podcasting thing. I just met a group of people out at a Browns event and who were already had a podcast, and they asked me to come on. I'm like, really? Okay. Whatever you think, if you think I can contribute something, bring something to the table, sure.
Sure.
So, I was there, and when I was on their podcast, the second time they asked me to come on, I met Yvette, who owns Bougie Sports. And so she contacted me and Lysandra after and said, hey, if you look around, there are not a lot of all ladies produced podcasts. No offense to you guys out there, because you're all killing it. But I thought, that is a really good idea. We all bring a different perspective. So she really drove the bus on this, and she's so creative. I mean, she thinks of things I would never think of. But now that it's so funny that you asked that question that way, because I really didn't have a why when it started, but as it has went on and as it has evolved, we have started to bring in, this, if you checked it out, a lot of mental health, a lot of wellness, a lot of, it's not just sports, it's not just Cleveland, and we've also brought in WWE, but now, we've brought in this whole other, how can we make you a better you too, while we're talking about something we all are passionate about, right? So
Absolutely.
that's kind of, it's kind of evolved that why.
I love it. I do. And I have checked out a couple episodes. You guys do a tremendous job. It's really nice to see an all lady podcast because it's something different, like you said, but I just think
Mhm.
it's knowledgeable when you're so passionate talking about what you're talking about, right? Because
Mhm.
if you had a podcast and you were talking about something and you were just saying a whole bunch of hot takes, I don't know how interesting that podcast would be.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? So I
Right.
love the fact that you're knowledgeable, you're passionate, and it's really worth watching. People definitely should check it out, for
Thanks.
sure. Talk
Thanks.
about I don't know if you went to college or not, but I know that you went to Nardonia High School.
Yes.
Talk to me about your growing up there, going to Nardonia, and then talk about if you went to college, what was your college choice and why?
hmm oh my gosh. I always say, that if there's any time of life I could go back to, it would
Mhm.
be those high school years. I mean, I loved that area. I'm still friends with tons of people that I graduated with.
Mhm.
Denzel Ward graduated from Nordonia.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay,
we have a little notable Browns player there. But
sure,
then I did end up at the University of Akron.
okay,
And I still wanted to stay local. I just was never someone that wanted to go away and go far. Um, Kudos to those that branch out at 18 years old and leave the state
sure,
lines, you know?
sure, yes,
But
absolutely.
I did not. But and I loved Akron U. It was a great place. It was great.
Okay, I love
Mhm.
that. I love that. Now, did you receive a degree from there, or did you? Okay, what did you get?
Mhm. Yep, I have my Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. I first actually my first degree was in psychology. And
Wow,
then yeah, and then as I went along, I found the HR world and went back for my HR management courses. So I actually have two.
I
I went
love
back
that.
later.
That's awesome. Dual degree. That's awesome. No
Yep,
doubt. Okay,
yep.
so let me ask you some favorite questions, right?
Okay.
And these are some of these favorite questions that I just have, and you can just give me the 411 off the rip and let me know what some of your favorite things are. Okay.
Okay. Oh
All right, here we
gosh.
go.
Yeah.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
That I like to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Real pasta sauce. None of
Okay.
this jar stuff. We're talking cans of tomatoes, the
Mm,
good, the Italian seasonings, you got to chop
okay. Okay.
the simmer all day sauce.
Now, for those that don't know, Prego and Ragu is what she's talking about. None of that canned shit in the stores. Is what she's
No,
trying to say. None of that. She's talking
no.
about authentic Italian sauce, and only
Yeah,
certain people know how to make that. And
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, your last name is Carino. If
Yes,
I'm not mistaken.
right?
Okay. So you got it. You got it. If I'm ever there in Akron or Cleveland, please don't hesitate to make some sauce because I'm a huge pasta person. I have to come over and try
I
it
will
for sure.
do it. Yeah.
So
I
much.
will do
Okay.
it.
Next favorite question is favorite concert you've ever attended.
Oh my gosh. So, I've been to so many good ones.
Hmm.
Wow. Probably Justin Timberlake.
He puts on quite a show. He does.
hmm
He
Yeah.
puts on quite a show. I've seen
It's
him
been a
three
little
times.
bit. Have you three
So
times?
yeah. Well, the first time I saw him was during the 2020 experience. If you remember that album,
Yes.
where he had the mirrors.
Yes.
The other time that I saw him was when he came out with his album of "Say Something." If you remember
hmm
that.
hmm
And that was that. And then the other time I saw him was way back in my high school days, which
Mm.
is the early 2000s, where he was with NSYNC. So
Oh yeah.
those those were the times that I saw him. But he's going through a rough patch right now. That's for sure.
He
Yeah,
is.
right. No
I mean,
question.
why wouldn't you number one, you should have a driver, and number
He
two,
should.
you have enough money to get
Mm,
an Uber.
he does. He does.
Right?
Listen, as you know, as we all have, he just made a stupid ass decision. That's all that was. Man, he just made that decision. I don't know
He
why
did.
he did, but hopefully, he will get the help that he possibly may need. Maybe this might be a one off. But then
I
again, the
think
way that they
so.
have been talking about it, they're talking like he might need some help, like in certain instances. So I don't know, but I digress. Justin Timberlake, great performer though. Great performer.
Oh, good.
Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Napa Valley.
Oh, my home state,
Oh,
California.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, I
absolutely.
love California.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Yep,
California.
that's my home state. I grew up in San Diego, so I went to middle
Oh,
school, elementary school, and high school out there.
that is a beautiful area. I've heard. I have not. I did not go the San Diego way,
Mhm.
but obviously, yeah, Napa is amazing.
Did you try some of the wine out there?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
It
good.
was one. It was one of those places where honestly, everybody and the whole vibe
Hmm.
is so relaxed.
Lay back. Yep, I was gonna say
Nobody's
lay
in a
back.
hurry. Everybody's just chill. You just, you could stop off at a little winery, sit at a picnic table outside, have some wine.
Hmm.
And the wine is good. It's not like you have a headache. Then, it's not with all the, what are they called? I can't think of the names, the
Oh,
preservatives and whatnot,
right, right. I know you're
you
talking the
know?
carbonation. You're talking about the bubbles, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
You have real wine. So it's not causing, that hangover like you would normally get. But,
Absolutely.
oh, it's
Did
so
you
great.
did you go on a wine tasting tour? Did you go on those?
No, no, we just really went and, just sat down and got little flights of
Okay.
wine. Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Great.
if you ever have an opportunity to do so, I'm not sure how they do it out in Ohio, but there's certain places that you go. You got to go on a wine tasting tour. I went on one before.
Oh
I've
yeah.
tried a cab wine, Cabernet.
Uh-huh.
I've tried white wine.
Uh-huh.
I've tried there's other different kind of wines too. Walmart has a wine too. I think it's called
Mhm.
I'm not drawing the name of it. I think it's Pescado.
Oh.
Not Pescado. Not Pescado, but it's something like that.
Mhm.
And it's a chocolate wine as well. I tried chocolate
Ooh,
wine.
that
Yeah,
would be good.
it's different. It's different. No question about it.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
next question, of course, I'm a sports reporter, so I got to throw a sports favorite in there. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? Could be the same sport.
Football.
Okay, got you. Now, are you
Yep.
only professional, or you like professional and college?
I do follow obviously the Buckeyes, and I don't, it's funny once you get into that season though. Sunday is so full of NFL. And so
It
sometimes
is.
Saturday, it's like I just get to watch, I'll wait to see when the Buckeyes are on and I'll watch that, but I don't get to really, watch other games that I'd maybe like to see that,
Sure.
because I
Are
got other
you
things to do.
are you a red zone person? Like I know my father, back in New York, that's where he lives. He's a red zone guy, so he loves to put the red zone on and keep flipping,
Mhm.
flipping, flipping, flipping back from all the games. Are you that?
You know what? I will watch the Browns front to back, but otherwise, Red Zone is on here.
Okay, got
It
you. Say
is.
less. Say less. I love
Yep.
that. Last
Mhm.
of the favorites. Favorite restaurant to eat at.
Well, here, there is a very small place,
Mm.
actually, where I grew up in Northfield, Macedonia, a little Farinacci's pizza place. And
Ooh.
it has been there forever. Matter of fact, okay, let me just tell you how old this place is. Family owned.
Okay.
It is so old,
Mm.
and they don't even take credit cards, but you can write a check there. It's that
Oh
kind of
my.
place, cash or check. So
Oh my. That is
the good
definitely
stuff.
old, no question. I
It's old.
graduated high school in '05. So I know for a fact, yeah, that back then is when you can start writing like checks or cash. Like
Right.
we have so upgraded to cards and everything, and now
Yeah.
tap the damn card. You don't even slide it in there. You tap the
No, you
card.
just
Right, you
right.
tap it
Yeah.
now. So that has to be an
Yep.
establishment that's been around for quite some time.
Oh, and it just packs them in. I mean, the same pizza oven. I mean, that pizza is legit.
But when you go to those type of establishments, Lana, as you know, they make the most authentic pizza dough crust that is so good.
Fresh.
It's
It's
so
fresh.
good. Yes,
There's nothing
absolutely.
frozen in that place. Nothing.
Okay. So whenever I do go there, please give me the name of that so I can go
I
support their
will.
business. Please.
Yeah.
No question about it.
I
I
will.
love it. I love it. Let's talk about your day to day. Like we said, you do a human resources job, so that's probably your Monday through Friday job.
Yeah.
How do you fit in the podcast? How many times do you do the podcast? What do you talk about on the podcast? Does it differentiate? Like who comes up with the topics? Is there like a moderator? Talk about your podcast and how often you do it.
We do it every 2 weeks. Now, Bougie Sports is the umbrella, but I'm one of the hosts of the Real Squad Pod,
Okay.
which is myself and Lysandra. And we do that like I said, every other Tuesday night. So next Tuesday night is another episode on the 25th. And we really just look at, as far as when we pick a topic, we really look at like kind of what's going on right now, right?
Okay.
We always have, though, we start off every episode with what we call our table talk. So for instance, in our next table talk, we're most likely going to talk about the wrap up of the NBA finals, right? Because that just wrapped up. WWE just had this Clash at the Castle. Probably going to need to talk about that.
Sure.
But then what's really going on right now for us here is, our Guardians are killing it. And then we'll give the updates, on if the Browns have any new news or anything like that. We'll talk about those types of things. But last week, we had a pro wrestling announcer on as our guest.
Okay.
Because we were going into this weekend with this Clash at the Castle, which was supposed to be, it's a big deal for WWE. So
sure.
We try to see what's going on. What can we do? We try once a month to always have a guest. So once we have a guest and then it's just her and I maybe on the next episode. It's hard to find guests, as you can tell, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely. To be able to have that podcast, because the schedules are crazy. Listen, if you ever need a guest host, I will listen, I would love to do that because that sounds totally fun. No question about it. I will be in the back seat of that. Whenever you need me to talk, just put your hand and I'll speak. I'll do whatever because I love those, particularly those three topics of the NBA finals that just covered. Obviously, Boston won in 4-1. They wrapped it up Monday night. Jaylen Brown gets the MVP. They won in a dominant fashion, but they were the best team all season long. So nobody really thought that it was going to be anybody else besides Boston in the finals, and Boston was the number one team, right? I'm even a WWE fan because exactly the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio stuff that's going on with them too is kind of crazy. Drew McIntyre walked out on WWE, which is crazy for him to even do that, but he's a big-time star. I think the combination of him and CM Punk can be really big. And then there's also teasers that Roman may come back and may be a babyface. And maybe some teasers because it's two bloodlines, with Solo and then Roman. It may be like, so I'm huge into all that, to be honest with you.
That's so great. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yes. And I do pay attention to the Guardians because I am here in Minnesota. So, obviously, we're in the same division. And the Guardians are definitely kicking tail. Jose Ramirez is one of my favorite players in Major League Baseball. No question about it. So, yeah, Guardians is doing their thing for sure. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I do hope the Twins catch them. I'm not going to lie about that. But they are behind right now. So it'd be like that sometimes. That's for sure.
Cards in the meantime.
Right. You got to rep your team. I love it. On here with Lana at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. If someone came up to you and they said, look, I want to start a podcast, particularly as a woman, right? Could be a woman, could be a man too, but particularly as a woman, because you don't see a lot of women podcasts. What is some advice you would give that particular woman in starting a sports podcast?
I would say to not, to block out all the noise of others that, tell you can't do it, or you don't know what you're talking about, or, when you put out that take or your opinion, now as we know, people just take what you say as your opinion as like,
Absolutely.
they blow it up and you're stupid. Wait a minute. That's just you can have your opinion and I can have my opinion and we can still be cool. Like, I don't understand why there's got to be hate there. I don't understand that,
Right.
but I think, back to your question, you just have to have that thick skin of not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to, you're not going to be their vibe and they're not going to agree with things you say. And that's okay. It's okay.
Now, was that hard for you to like get over that at first? Because, sometimes you do have people that troll just to troll, right? Just to get a reaction out of you at times. And then, but this is a kind of a two-part question, because I also want to know, was it easy for you to talk like this, right? Talk and have conversations like this online? Because sometimes when you don't have a whole lot of topics to talk about, and it's like dead air, and like you know what I mean? So was it easy for you to come up with things to talk about? And then two, was it easy for you to get over the trolls?
Yeah, I really don't care about what other people think or say, or
I love
I
it.
just never have, not a thing for me. So yeah, I've never ever had an issue there, but it's kind of funny because, as you know, if you follow me, obviously I'm, a very big fan of Kevin Stefanski. I get more worked up about people saying bad things about Kevin Stefanski than I do if they say anything about me, I feel like I got to defend. But I, and I don't feel like I've ever had a hard time. As you could tell, I'm just a talker.
I love it.
I'm just a natural, like my mouth runs, I think, from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. So I don't think that, I have never had an issue with, coming up with something to talk about, really.
I love that. I do. Yeah. And mind you, okay, so I'm going to be transparent with you. Am I the hugest Kevin Stefanski fan? No. I'll be honest with you. However, I do think he is an offensive genius. I do think he can call offenses very well. The man did win Coach of the Year just a couple of years ago. He can coach, right? He can coach football. He can do that. Yeah. But the dog pound fans, and that being in Ohio, they're unrealistic. They're just like the Raiders fans, the black hole. They're unrealistic. And the Cowboys fans, they always feel like, oh my gosh, we're gonna win it. This is our year? If you lose 3 games in a row, fire him because he don't know what he's doing. And this over the top type of crap that they say. That's what those typical fan bases are. Now, mind you, you see the SD hat on. Yeah. I'm from SD because I love my Padres. I'm also a huge Chargers fan. My favorite player all time is LaDainian Tomlinson because I grew up watching him. So I love that. However, you do have those fans that are just super passionate that just go a little bit overboard, especially on the Stefanski talk. Like, they're not getting rid of him anytime soon. Cleveland would be silly.
Yeah, it was really funny last season. Anytime he had a bad play or he called something, or whatever, if anything bad went down, people were tweeting to me and they were like, you better tell your man he better get it together. That was a terrible call. I'm like, whoa. I'm not his wife, right? like let's get to reality here. He's not coming here for pasta after the game. So I very much love to tell him that, but
I know it.
You know what I'm saying? That's how unrealistic some people are. And you know what? It's funny. I just play along like, okay, I'll tell him.
I bet you do.
I don't even say nothing.
You do. Oh,
I'll let him know for you. Write your name down.
I love the pettiness that you show. That's awesome. I love it. I love it though. That's amazing. Like, they look at your name and they think, oh my God, she's with Stefanski. But it's like, hello, like if that was the case, why the hell would I waste my time tweeting you, talking to you, and I'm him, and I'm his wife? Come on now, what does that even mean? So you know what I'm saying? So I totally get it. I totally get it.
So funny.
Let's talk about mental health though, and that's a great segue because, like you said, you have to have a nonchalant attitude towards the trolls. Which I'm a sports reporter out here locally. I cover high schools and a college.
Okay.
And I get all kinds of stuff, right? People say, well, why are you writing this about my baby that went 1 for 16? Well, ma'am, sir, they shot 1 of 16 in
That's what they
basketball.
did. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I have to be unbiased. I have to tell the truth. I'm sorry. That's a part of the story of why the team lost. Right. But sometimes, even when we don't care about what people think, we still see it. We still read it. We're still
Sure.
human. Right. So, talk about how do you keep a good mental health dealing with some of these trolls, dealing with some of these sometimes bad games that Cleveland Browns play, or seasons where they don't end up in the playoffs, or don't, you know what I mean? Like, and how do you keep your work-life balance? Because obviously you're somebody who I certainly wouldn't mind being around,
Yeah.
certainly wouldn't mind hanging out, right? But you have friends there as well, friends and family. So how do you keep the work-life balance and good mental health, staying in sports and doing your day job?
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. And I think that there's a couple things.
Okay.
First, let's go down that work-life balance road. So in my world, yeah, I'm an HR director. I'm a
Yeah.
fitness instructor. So I
Yeah.
teach one, two, three, about 3 to 4 classes a week. It depends. I'm
Wow.
scheduled for 3, but sometimes I sub out too.
Okay.
And then the podcast. So, and as you know, you do your podcast one week, but like the week before, like this weekend, we're gonna have to meet, right? Me and my
Right.
co-host, we're gonna have to meet. We're gonna have to talk about what's going on. So there's a
Right.
meeting ahead of time. So usually every Sunday, I just look at the whole week, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one non-negotiable rule for me
Hmm.
that is so key to mental health, that if a lot of people did it, it would help, is you have got to schedule your physical activity into your week. So
Yeah.
you look at your week and know, okay, Monday night from 6 to 7, I'm working out. That's it. I'm not doing anything else then, right?
Right.
Tuesday night, I'm going to rest. Wednesday, I'm working out. Thursday, whatever it is, I find 5 opportunities in my week to do that, because that is a stress relief that everyone needs. And I'm not saying, I mean, and people out there that don't work out, whatever, go for a walk. Now is the time to get fresh air. That's so great for our mental health. Um, and I think keeping people around you that, keeping those good relationships and those people that are positive and cheerleaders to you are,
Right.
especially when when we're in this world, to having those people that, love you and care about you and tell you about it all the time, and they're proud of you and that you're doing a great job. Those are the voices you're going to hear over the
Right.
keyboard voices, so to
Right.
speak.
Right.
But I know saying that is easy to say, and I know that there are some people out there that they have a different they have mental health issues, or
Sure.
illness, I should say, not even issues. It's really a truly diagnosed illness. So, making sure that if you do have that illness, that you're taking care of it and you're being seen, and that you're, doing what you can, because then you can be better and feel better and feel more
Absolutely.
positive.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. There's a lot of people that deal with mental health a plethora of ways. No question
Mhm.
about it. And neither one of us is being insensitive to that. No question
No.
about that.
Oh my
However,
gosh.
like you said, it's very good to have a physical activity. Me particularly, I have 3 days off, and this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I like to be able to go on a walk. I like to be able to
Yeah.
go work out. I have a gym membership as well. So I like
Mhm.
to go and work out. I like to do that things as well. I like to write poetry as well. I think
Oh,
it's kind
see,
of
having
cool.
that outlet. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I
Mhm.
think it's important because when you deal with sports, especially with podcasting, especially with writing stories and different things of that nature, you got to have an outlet. There's sometimes, Lana, I like to come home and not talk about sports or not deal with sports. Like, I want to just talk about something else. Let's talk about music. Let's talk about movies. Let's talk about life in general. Let's just have
Right.
an everyday conversation about something. You know what I mean? Have a glass of wine,
Mhm.
or some Hennessy. In my case, I love me some.
Yeah.
I love me some Hennessy. So in my case, to do that, right? So I think it's an important question to know, because people that do podcasts, you are going to get trolls. Like, I know every time, and it's probably not just you; it's your co-host as well. You
Mhm.
probably get it from both angles. People just want to just debate you over the dumbest stuff, or they want to be like,
Yeah.
I said this, you said that, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Or do something like that. So, and that
Mhm.
takes it wears on people for sure, especially if you have a day job as well, because you coming home doing something that you love to do is not necessarily, you know,
Yeah.
beneficial in the money and as far as money goes, right? This is something that you passionately love to
Oh, you froze. Oops.
do. So that
Oh,
is
there
a
you go.
typical this oh yeah, this wow. Yeah, this or that is typically a game that I like to play with my guests. Okay. So I throw out two things at you and then you get to choose one or the other. Okay. Are you with me?
I'm with you. You cut out there for a bit. I lost you.
Oh,
After.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Okay.
now
Wow.
you're back. So that's good.
That is good. Okay. Here we
good.
go.
All right.
Popeyes or KFC?
KFC.
Okay. Do you like chicken wings?
No.
No. Wow. No chicken wings. Okay. Okay. I love that. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to ask you LeBron James or Bernie Kosar?
Bernie Kosar.
Wow. You said that quick too. I like that. Okay. Here we go. This next one is Eric Metcalf or Mark Price.
Mark Price.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Next one up. Here we go. Larry Nance or I got it. Larry Nance or Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Okay, I like that.
I
These
love
next
Amari
four
Cooper.
questions.
Okay.
Next four questions have to do with music. Okay. Which music concert you rather go to? Here we go.
Okay.
Which artist would you rather listen to? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick Lamar. That is a controversy too. Right.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Now I know you and I can be friends for sure. I love it. Here we go. I love it. Starting off good. Which concert would you rather go to? Would you rather see Bone Thugs and Harmony or would you rather see NWA?
Bone Thugs and Harmony, probably.
Yeah, as you know, they're Cleveland products, so they're from the Ohio area for sure.
Yep.
Okay.
They have a
Here we
street.
go. Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Which artist would you rather see? Luke Combs or Morgan Wallen?
I don't really like either one of them.
My gosh. Oh man. Okay.
I'll just say Luke Combs. I mean, I don't even, because honestly, I would be like, no, I'll stay home.
Okay. So here I go. I got a substitute for that one. Okay. Which one would you rather see? J. Cole or Lil Wayne?
Oh my gosh. Lil Wayne.
That was a tough one. I know. That was a tough one.
That was a tough one.
Last one. Which artist would you rather see? Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
Oh, okay. You said that definitively. I like that.
I like Usher.
I love me some Usher. I love me some
Usher.
Okay. Which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
Not really.
Okay, but badminton is a little bit worse.
A little worse. Yeah, a little worse.
Okay, I got you. Do you need the bumper in bowling?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, Lana, we can't bowl together. We cannot bowl together.
No bowling.
No bowling.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's all right.
That's okay.
That's all right. You are honest, and that's all that matters. So I love it. Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
I love it. Which sport would you rather play or not play? Watch, I should say, basketball or baseball?
I'm gonna go. I like basketball on TV, baseball in person between those two. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
So it depends on where I am. So if I'm at home though, if you're saying watch on TV, basketball.
Okay. So now I want to ask you, do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm about to name 4 categories of desserts. You have to eliminate one of these you'll never eat again. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So here we go. First one is cookies. So that's any kind of cookie. Okay. Next one is ice cream. The next one is candy. So that's any kind of candy, gelatin or chocolate. And the last one is cake. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Ice cream.
Lana, ice cream. Oh,
Ice cream. I can totally say no to ice cream. Isn't that
wow.
weird? And the older I get, the more I can just like, no.
You know what? To be honest with you, now that I think about it, that might not sound as strange as I thought it would sound, because that's a lot of dairy, and dairy when you get older. Yeah. Okay, never mind. That don't sound
I do
crazy at
not.
all.
Yeah, it's just not my. I don't know. It's just not my thing. You know.
I do love cookies and cream, but it's hard to give up that red velvet cake. I love me some
Ooh,
red velvet cake.
Okay, I had a friend who made me a red velvet cake for my birthday, and
Yeah.
she made the cream cheese frosting. It was like biting into the cube of the cream cheese. I mean,
Oh wow. Okay.
it was
Okay.
so good. Yeah, so
When
you
when,
can't
when
give that up.
when is your birthday?
April 13th.
Okay, so I'm okay. So you're close to mine. Mine is February 2nd. So I got you. That's
Oh, a
that's
little
totally
bit.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like potato chips?
Yes.
Okay, so same format. I'm gonna
Okay.
throw 4 categories out. You gotta get rid of one. So here we go.
Okay.
First one is Pringles. Okay.
Okay.
The next one is Ruffles.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Lay's.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is Doritos. Which one are you getting rid of?
Probably Lay's.
Yep, I would have to. Yeah, I would have to for sure. I like that. Okay, that is
Love it.
amazing. You did pretty good on this or that, girl. You
See?
did pretty good.
Man, I love a good
Absolutely.
Dorito.
I do too. The Cool Ranch is my second favorite. I think my first favorite is the sour cream and cheddar Ruffles. That's the greatest chip ever made.
Oh my gosh. For real. And those
Greatest
cheddar
chip ever
Pringles, though, when you're talking about Pringles, those cheddar Pringles.
made. I would say, you know what? Those are number 3. Those are number 3 in the Pringles. I would say 1 and 2. My number 1 is barbecue. Barbecue Pringles is number 1 for me.
Oh, I've never had that.
The
I'll have to try
barbecue
that.
Pringles?
Never
Yeah.
tried
Yeah.
it.
And then number 2 is sour cream and onion.
Oh,
So yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna have to try those. Okay, I'll try those.
Yes, those Pringles, sour cream and onion, and barbecue. Mwah, they are so good. So good. Okay. I love it. I love it. So we got to talk some Browns football. Okay.
Yes.
So obviously the Browns are in a very tough division, probably the toughest of the 8. If I'm not mistaken, in my opinion, toughest of the 8. Obviously, you have the MVP in your division, and Lamar Jackson. You know what Baltimore just got with Derrick Henry. Their running game is going to be through the roof. And not to mention that Zay Flowers is going to be coming back off his second season. I think he's going to blossom. Now you have a new, not just one, but 2 new Steeler quarterbacks in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson added to their team. They also took one of the linebackers from Baltimore and added them with TJ Watt on Pittsburgh. So the defense was already good. They just got better.
Right.
Now you also have a Joe Burrow that's probably going to be the most, I would say, fresh because he didn't play much of last season. Although they are going through some turmoil with some contracts over there. I think T. Higgins still re-signed. You still have Jamar Chase. They lost Mixon, their running back. But anytime you have Burrow's been the only one to defeat Patrick Mahomes in the last few years in the AFC.
Yeah.
So
true.
You got a pretty tough division. But let's get to your team. Your team added Jameis Winston, if I'm not mistaken, to the team as a quarterback. Deshaun Watson, Lord have mercy. I mean, his first year, Lord, if he could just find the Houston Deshaun Watson, they'll be fine. But your running backs and Nick Chubb, and I believe you still have Kareem Hunt. I believe you do. No, you don't.
He's a free agent right now. I was so mad that we don't have. I'm still so mad that we don't have Kareem Hunt right now. Now, I mean, he's a free agent.
Right. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Wow.
We do not have Kareem, and I am furious.
Your defense is going to be solid. I mean, you have a Pro Bowlers at every level. Obviously, with Garrett, You have there Denzel Ward is very good cornerback, as you said, graduated from high school.
Yeah.
I think I still think you have Johnson as a safety. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong, but I still think you have Jay Johnson as one of your safety.
I believe, yes.
Yes.
I think.
So the receiving core though is something that I'm intrigued by, because now you have not only Amari Cooper, but you got Jared Jeudy as well. You picked him up in the offseason. I think the receiving core and the running back is going to be very good. Tell me, what do you think about your Browns team coming into this season after that whole soliloquy that I just said?
Well, I am most concerned with where you started, obviously, with our quarterback situation. Now, given last season, do I have the right to be, or should I be? No, look what Kevin pulled off with 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
So he was able to get it done, and we still have DTR, during Thompson Robinson. So then we brought Winston in. So we'll probably be okay. I am concerned though. I mean, first of all, I was concerned with Deshaun Watson coming in off of 700 and some days, whatever it was that he hadn't played.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he going to look like Houston Deshaun Watson? No. And now he's even more off, and even when he came back, he had one game where I was like, oh, look at that.
Right.
And then he was injured. He literally had one game. So that's one of my main concerns. Nick Chubb coming back is going to be huge. However, so proud of the guys that were, backed him up. We had Jerome Ford as the second.
He had a couple games that was good.
He really stepped up when Nick went out. Now Nick probably won't be there when the season starts, so he may not even show up until November, if at all. Who knows?
Yeah.
Take your time, Nick Chubb. We just want you back in one piece. But Jerry Jeudy, yes, excited to see what he can do. The other big question mark right now is there's all this question around Amari Cooper, because his contract right now has not been signed on the dotted line, right? He wants an extension.
Sure.
And he's not going to practice over it. And Kevin Stefanski has said in the press conferences that he is not excused. He's just not showing up. So there's a problem there.
Which I think they will get settled. I mean, because obviously he's getting fined for every day that he's missing. And that's what NFL teams do. So I do think I don't know if it'll be a happy solution, but I do think he'll rejoin the team. He'll rejoin his guys. Like I said, this offensive side of the ball is something to look at, with Joku, with Jeudy, with Cooper, with Ford coming into there. And yes, your quarterback situation, Deshaun was very rusty coming into it. No question about it. But with that being said, Kevin Stefanski, like I said, he's a guru on offense. And that offensive line is one of the best in the NFL. No question about that. They definitely are one of the best in the NFL. So I do think that there's some positives. My issue, though, Lana, is it's just too much firepower in the AFC. I don't know if they're going to crack the top 7. I don't know, because to me, Baltimore is the class of that division. You have 4 division winners, and you have Baltimore, you have Miami, you have Buffalo, you have Kansas City, you have Houston. I've just mentioned about 5-6 teams. I would like to think that Jacksonville's going to be in the mix. They was in there too. I would like to think that Cincy is probably going to be in the mix as well. My Chargers could be. That's really throwing something against the wall, though, and trying to see if it fits with the Chargers. No doubt about it. But do you think Cleveland cracks the top 7 for playoffs?
Yes. I'm nervous.
Ooh.
I'm nervous. Definitely. Okay. Just like with what all you said. Because here's the thing. Last year, we really didn't. The Steelers were a broken bag. You're right about Cincy. Joe was out. So did we really see these 2 teams? No. Houston the first time we went up against Houston, we won. But then remember when in the playoff situation, then we saw CJ Stroud.
Right.
He wasn't in that first game because he was injured. So
Right.
real CJ showed up, I should say, in the game where it counted for us. And Joe Flacco fell. I mean, he just couldn't get it done against CJ. I mean,
Right.
they were, they were better on that side of the ball. But it is rough, and that's the talk right now. I mean, everywhere, everything you read is the AFC is. Oof.
It is.
How do you ever, like Mahomes? Like, I mean, just how do you get past Mahomes?
He's the MJ of the league. He's the Michael Jordan of the league right now.
He really. I would be more concerned at him than even Lamar.
Well, I think Stefanski plays against Lamar twice a year, so he's probably not as worried because when you play division rivals, if you look at the team that's matched up best with him in the division, it's been the Browns. The Browns have gave him the most problems of the teams in the division. So Stefanski's probably not worried about that, but I didn't even mention Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I mean, I didn't mention him.
Right, I forgot about he was out. Yeah.
So it's a loaded AFC. For me, I definitely have the Browns probably 8, right outside that top 7, because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them to crack it. They're going to need another team to either have a significant injury or something to go down, because with the quarterback situation being shaky, Deshaun not really being his old self, you don't know what Winston you're getting. Are you getting 30 touchdown Winston, or are you getting 30 interception Winston? You don't know what Winston is throwing up. You do know that the defense is good. But their linebacking core, that's where I'm a little concerned. The secondary, I'm not as concerned with, because I think the secondary is pretty solid. You got Newsome, if I'm not mistaken, Newsome on the other side with Ward. You have a solid secondary, but the linebacking core, I'm a little concerned about that. How are you feeling about your linebackers?
Yeah, I am too. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one too. That is an area of need or concern, I should say. I should say that, yeah. But I still just try my best to stay positive. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it.
I love it. And that's what fans are supposed to do. They're supposed to stay as positive as possible. The journalists in me try to be unbiased because I want to look at it from all angles. I do think Kevin Stefanski is one of the best coaches in the NFL. I do think, like I said, offensively, they're going to be good. Garrett is going to have a double-digit sack season because can't nobody block him one-on-one.
No.
And then the secondary is going to cause some problems because they're going to go against Cooper and Judy, which is 2 really good receivers in practice every day. And plus they have other receivers to go against in the season. How many wins do you predict this Browns team to have? Because I'm right at 500, 9-8. That's where I'm at.
So last year we were what, 11-6?
Yes.
We were 11-6.
I think it's gonna be rough sledding against the division for sure.
I want to say we'll be better, right? Because I want to be positive about this. So let's think. I'm going to just say 12-13 wins.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to go 13 because my birthday's on the 13th. It's a lucky number. I'm going to go 13.
Okay. I love it. I love what you're talking about.
I'm just going to go big or go home.
I got it. I get you. Okay. You just might have to stay home with that one. But 13-3, listen, I'm not saying that that's not achievable. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think 9-10 wins is something I see in the realm because I do see Cincy taking a step back. I don't see them being as dominant defensively. But the Pittsburgh and Baltimore, man, I don't know how you are going to get past those 2 giants of a team. I mean, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields is an upgrade from Kenny Pickett. We can agree to that. I'm
an upgrade from Kenny Pickett.
Hello. So there you go.
I could quarterback better. But yeah, they're we typically we won and won them. It's kind of funny. I mean, every year, we win one, they win one.
Yep.
We know.
I feel it.
So we'll see what this season does there with them.
Now, do you get a chance to go to any of the games?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, for sure, I do want to go to a Cleveland Brown game. Not when it's snowing. Not when it's snowing.
No.
Absolutely. But I would love to go to a game. I'm actually looking into going to a game of the Cleveland Browns. So once again, if I do see you there, I will have to say hello for sure.
Yes. Let me know if you're coming.
I certainly will.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to ask this question because we talked about you giving advice, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Oh my gosh. So many good things. Wow. And like my mind's going in 100 different ways right now from the different places that
I totally see that.
I think I keep going back to, and it kind of leads back to what I said about planning, a failure to plan is planning to fail. Let that sink in a minute. Failing to plan is planning to fail. Wow,
that's one of those coffee shop like moments, like you snap the fingers, as one of those snap the finger moments. Yeah, that's deep. That is really deep. I love it though. That's so true, though.
It is.
I'm such a planner naturally, like as you probably know. I'm such a planner. You would have to
be, right?
Right. So I love that. I love doing that as well. What is something that you want to talk about that we haven't touched bases on in this podcast episode that you want to get out and talk about?
Oh my gosh, we have covered so many good things.
We have.
Oh gosh.
Maybe you want to plug maybe where to listen to the podcast at, or yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that's a really good point. So we are on, like I said, my podcast is on every 2 weeks, but Yvette with Bougie Sports, she has a podcast dropping every week. So Bougie Sport, go to YouTube, like they go to YouTube for you, right? Go to YouTube for us as well. And you put in Bougie Sports and you will see, you can subscribe there and see all of our episodes there. We're also on Facebook and on X at The Real Squad Pod is where we're at on X. And when we go live on YouTube, X, and Facebook all at the same time.
I love it.
So if you are following us on anything, you can watch, anywhere. And you can scroll through all the pages and see them as well. So, and I am at Stefanski Girl on X and on Instagram if anyone wants to follow along.
Absolutely. There may be somebody that might want to have a conversation with you that might want to talk something that I didn't talk to you about. And just to reiterate, she is not Kevin Stefanski's wife. Okay, just because it says Stefanski Girl does not mean that she's married to Kevin. Okay, she just supports Kevin and the Browns, and that's it. She's a ride or die for Kevin Stefanski. That's all that means.
Right. Okay? Not his wife yet.
That's very true. That's very true. I'm not sure how you're going to work that out, but if anybody can, I have utmost confidence in you that you certainly can, for sure. I love this conversation, Lana. I really do. I think you're
this was so great.
Amazing woman. Your podcast is great. I think people should definitely check it out on YouTube, like you said again. And definitely would love to keep in touch with you. Anytime I'm in the Ohio area near Akron, Cleveland, I'm definitely going to hit you up because I definitely got to try some of that authentic pasta sauce for sure.
Yes, you do. Yes.
You take care and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Lana.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.